You know that feeling. I know you do. It's that specific, sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach that hits you right when you see an opportunity and you freeze. Let me take you back to a Tuesday afternoon about 3 years ago. I was standing in line at a coffee shop in downtown Chicago. It was one of those hipster places. Exposed brick, way too loud indie music, the smell of roasted beans everywhere. Standing right in front of me was someone I recognized, not a celebrity, but a guy who ran a huge marketing agency I had been following on LinkedIn for months. I mean, this guy was my hero. He was the reason I got into the industry. He was right there, just standing there, looking at his phone, waiting for his oat milk latte. And in my head, the monologue started. Say something. Just say hi. Tell him you love his podcast. Just tap him on the shoulder. But then, the other voice kicked in. You know that voice. The saboteur. Don't be weird. He's busy. He doesn't want to talk to some random kid in a coffee shop line. What if you stutter? What if you say something stupid and he remembers you as that awkward guy for the rest of his life? You're sweating. Are you sweating? He's going to see you sweating. I stood there for 3 minutes. It felt like 3 hours. My heart was pounding so hard I thought the barista could hear it. I rehearsed 10 different opening lines in my head. I analyzed his body language. I checked my own reflection in the pastry case, and then the barista called out, "Order for Mark." He grabbed his cup, turned around, walked right past me, literally brushed my shoulder, and walked out the door. I said nothing. Zero. I got my coffee, walked back to my car, and sat there gripping the steering wheel, just hating myself. It wasn't just about missing a networking opportunity. It was the realization that I was a prisoner in my own head. That was the pattern of my life. Maybe it's the pattern of yours, too. You see a girl or guy you want to talk to at a bar, but you wait until the perfect moment, and then they leave. You have a brilliant idea in a meeting, but you wait for a pause in the conversation, and by the time you're ready to speak, the topic has changed. You want to ask for a raise? You want to join a dance class? You want to post that video on YouTube? But you wait. You wait for permission. You wait for confidence. You wait for the fear to go away. Here is the brutal truth I learned that day in the car. The fear never goes away. If you are waiting to feel ready, you will be waiting until you are in the ground. Biology is not on your side here. Your brain is designed to keep you alive, not to help you thrive. It sees social rejection as a threat to your survival. Back in the caveman days, if you were rejected by the tribe, you died. You starved or got eaten by a wolf. So your brain developed a safety mechanism. When you think about doing something risky, like speaking up or standing out, your brain triggers a hesitation signal. It floods you with cortisol. It creates a narrative of doom to stop you. And the problem is, in the modern world, that mechanism is glitching. Talking to a stranger won't kill you, but your body reacts like it will. So, how do you hack a million-year-old survival instinct? I found the answer in a concept that military pilots and high-performance athletes use. It's what I call the 3-second rule. It's stupidly simple, and that's why it works. The rule is this: the moment you have an impulse to act, to speak, to move, to introduce yourself, you have exactly 3 seconds before your brain kills the idea. 3 seconds. That is your window of opportunity. That is the kill zone for fear. If you act within those 3 seconds, you bypass the overthinking. You move faster than your fear. But if you wait 4 seconds, 5 seconds, you're done. The logic brain kicks in. The excuses start. The anxiety spirals. I decided to test this. I made a pact with myself. The next time I had an impulse, I would count down. 3, 2, 1. And I would physically move my body. The first time I tried it, it was a disaster. But it was a successful disaster. I was at a networking mixer. Terrible lighting, warm beer, everyone wearing name tags. I saw a group of people laughing, and I wanted to join them. Usually, I would pretend to look at emails on my phone until I looked busy enough to leave. But this time, I felt the impulse. I felt the fear rise up. They're a clique. They don't want you there. I cut it off. I whispered to myself, 3, 2, 1. On 1, I just started walking. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a cool opening line. My brain was screaming, "What are you doing? Stop!" But my feet were already moving. I walked right up to the circle. They turned to look at me, and I just said, "Hey guys, I'm totally new here and I don't know a single soul, so I'm hijacking your conversation. I'm David." Silence. For about 2 seconds, nobody said anything. My internal organs felt like they were liquefying. And then, the guy in the middle laughed. He reached out his hand and said, "That is the most honest thing I've heard all night. Grab a beer, David. I'm Chris." I didn't die. The sky didn't fall. In fact, the adrenaline I felt wasn't fear anymore. It was excitement. It was a rush. Here is what you realize when you start living by the 3-second rule. The world is actually incredibly forgiving. We walk around thinking everyone is judging us. We have this spotlight effect, where we think we are the main character in a movie and everyone is watching our every move. The truth? Everyone else is the main character in their own movie. They are worried about their own bills, their own insecurities, their own bad hair days. They aren't thinking about you. When you approach someone with confidence, even fake confidence, they usually appreciate it. Most people are bored. Most people are lonely. Most people are just waiting for someone else to make the first move. When you use the 3-second rule, you become the person who makes the first move. You become the catalyst. But let's be real for a second. It's not always going to go smooth. I used the rule once to ask a girl out at a bookstore. I saw her holding a copy of a book I loved. 3, 2, 1, go. I walked up. I opened my mouth, and I choked on my own spit. I started coughing like I was dying. My eyes were watering. It was a scene. She looked at me like I was patient zero of a new pandemic. Did I get the date? Absolutely not. But as I walked out of that bookstore, I was smiling. I was actually laughing. Because I did it. I didn't sit in the car regretting what could have been. I took the shot. I missed, but I took the shot. And that builds a different kind of confidence. It builds resilience. You realize that rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's just data. It's just an outcome. The more you use this rule, the more you realize that hesitation is actually more painful than rejection. Regret is heavy. Regret weighs tons. Rejection? Rejection weighs ounces. You handle it, and you move on. So, here's how you are going to apply this to your life, starting today, not tomorrow. Today, you are going to look for small, low-stakes opportunities to practice. Do not start with the CEO of your company. Do not start with the love of your life. Start with the cashier at the grocery store. You get the impulse to compliment their nails or ask how their shift is going. 3, 2, 1, speak. "Hey, I love that color on your nails." That's it. Start with a meeting at work. You have a question. 3, 2, 1. Raise your hand. Once the hand is up, you're committed. You can't put it down. You force yourself into the situation. You have to understand that confidence is not a feeling you have before you do the thing. Confidence is the result of doing the thing. You cannot think your way into being a confident person. You have to act your way into it. The 3-second rule is simply a tool to bridge the gap between your desire and your action. It cuts the wire to the bomb before it explodes. Think about the best things that have ever happened in your life, the best relationships, the lucky breaks, the wildest adventures. I guarantee you, almost all of them started with a split-second decision to say yes or to say hello. They happened because, for one brief moment, you were faster than your fear. Now, imagine how many of those moments you have missed. Imagine the friends you didn't meet, the dates you didn't go on, the business partners you didn't connect with. It's heartbreaking, right? But the past is a ghost. It doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is the next opportunity. The next time you see someone interesting. The next time you want to speak up. The next time you want to dance. You are going to feel that tightness in your chest. You are going to feel the excuse forming on your tongue, and you are going to catch it. You are going to count. 3. You acknowledge the fear. 2. You take a breath. 1. You move, because the life you want, the confident, exciting, connected life you see other people living, is hiding right behind that 3-second window. Don't wait to feel ready. You are never going to feel ready. Just count and go.